Thank you, buddy. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the midweek stream. Hope everybody's well tonight. Coffin is here. Coffin, let me know I had a hot mic there to start the stream. I was sitting here just sipping on some, isn't it midweek? I mean, it's like midweek. Yeah, it's Wednesday. So that's the middle of my week. It's the middle of your week too, but it's like your hell week. So, you lose track of all time and space and that sort of thing. So your week has been going on for 2 weeks. That's fair. Yeah. So, Cawthorn, nice to have you here, my friend. Hope the pack opening is going amazing. What's the craziest thing you've opened so far? I'm assuming 0 serialized cards. Really? Wow. Because you're normally like popping those things. I remember you pulled like 2 of one of the serialized cards. Like I thought you were just going to work on a playset. Only 750 out of probably 3 million plus packs. Wow. That's not very many. It's very, very few. That's much more rare, I think, than they had been. One in about 4 to 5K packs. Interesting. Damn. But you're opening that many. You've definitely will open more than 4 to 5,000 packs of the set, correct? So like, on average, you've opened like 1,600 so far. Yeah, but before the set's over, I would assume you would open more than 4 to 5K. Yeah, maybe not because it's a. Yeah, I was just about to say maybe not because it's like not a standard legal set or whatever. That's fair. Yeah, not sure we can get a restock. Damn, it's like that. Whew. Well, hey, you know what? I'm sure your loyal patrons appreciate whatever you did crack for them, even if you couldn't hit that serialized card this time. That sounds rare as fuck. So, all right. Well, we are getting into somebody played. Yo, Chuck Nasty, it's me on YouTube. What's up, Chuck? On the YouTubes. There they are. My one viewer on YouTube. Almost always Chuck. Although we did have 2 people in the YouTube the other day. So one of them was Chuck and one was somebody new. So get excited. A lot of cool and powerful cards. Hell yeah. So not yesterday, but the day before, I believe. Somebody played High Noon against us. And it was in like a blue-white deck, but it was not like a counter your shit control deck. I don't know what it was doing. It was doing some stuff with like mites and tokens and White Sun's Twilight and I don't know. But got me thinking about that card again. It kind of was off my radar. I knew it existed, obviously, but decided I wanted to try and do something with it. It sounded like a cool idea when we were talking about it on stream, and then it's kind of just been festering, and so we're going to try and mess around with it tonight. If I don't like it, we will play more of the Terror Festival deck, but for right now, we are just going to get to messing around and see what develops. So this is not going to be, I don't think it's going to be like no win con control. We could make it into no win con control and just add some red mana and just nug them for 5 with the High Noon and then shuffle it back in with Witness and then do that. That is one way to do it. But I don't think we're going to be doing that today. That's not my vision, my current vision for the deck. This is going to be standard. Thank you very much. We want to look at cards we both own and do not own. Okay, and we kind of want to look at red and blue for right now. First thing we want to do, I want to look at Hornlock Whale. Because I forget how this is worded. Okay, so the front is an instant. So, the flash on this is kind of relevant, kind of not. But it is 2 spells. And, like, when we get to put something on the top or bottom, like, normally if it's a pain in the ass creature, it's kind of, we're just setting them up to, like, double spell in a turn where, whatever. But with High Noon, they only get to cast 1 spell a turn, so it's not as big a deal. And then it's just kind of a 2-for-1. So this is an idea. I'm not sure that it's a great fit, but I thought it was at least necessary. The other creature, well, obviously, Hullbreaker Horror, just being an instant that we can flash in. It's not the best Hullbreaker Horror deck because we can only play 1 spell a turn as well. However, we just get to flash this in, and if we ever untap with it, it's like they play a spell, we play a spell to bounce that spell to their hand. Then they can't play another one. We can't play another one. We attack for 7, Then they go to their turn. They play a spell. We play any spell. Return that spell to hand. So, like, it does seem like a good Hullbreaker Horror deck despite the fact that we can't really go off and, like... So it's not a good play from behind Hullbreaker deck, so we can't play this and, like, bounce all their shit. You know what I mean? If High Noon's in play. But we could play it to kind of lock up the game and just win. It's a good win condition, I think, for the deck. And the other card was the Sphinx. So, Stoic Sphinx, I envision this actually being pretty cool in the fact that, like, all we got to do is wait for a turn where they've already cast a spell. And then, even though this doesn't have hexproof the turn we play this, it doesn't matter because they can't cast another spell that turn. We flash it in, and then we don't have to cast another spell. And then if they ever do try to cast a spell, then we have complete freedom to counter it in response, because even though this loses hexproof, they can't cast any more spells this turn. So I think Stoic Sphinx is also a good fit for this deck. So these are my 3 ideas for like the win cons for the deck. So these, I want to see how these play out before we kind of commit to like possibly doing the like, whole no win con control kind of situation with like Witness the Future and all that kind of stuff. That's one way to do it, but I think I want to build this to be a little bit more proactive and have win conditions. So that's kind of where we're starting. And I guess now we want to look for... Our whole deck doesn't have to be instants, but I think I want to start looking at the interactive spells we would use, and we obviously want to run some counter spells. So let's start there. So 3 steps ahead seems pretty decent. I'm not sure we're a make disappear deck, but it's something to work. I don't think conditional counter spells are where we want to be, because if the opponent's only able to play 1 spell a turn, they're not really incentivized to like, jam cards and tap out like double casting, cards or whatever. So later in the game, the deck has to go, especially without being able to cast multiple spells, where I might be able to catch the second one. I think Make the Spear actually becomes pretty bad. So obviously there's Dissipate. Airtight Scorn would be horrible in this deck. I don't know that we want to run something like a Dissipate. Yeah, looks like all the real counters that we'd probably want to run. Oh, No More Lies might be an exception to the rule. Syncopate might also be an exception to the rule, because since we can only cast 1 spell a turn as well, we can just always tap out for Syncopate and not feel bad. Actually, it's weird. I think this might be a blue-white control deck that doesn't want to run No More Lies, but we need something to play on turn 2 besides like the High Noons for the turns we don't have High Noon, or the games we don't have High Noon. I'm going to start thinking about Syncopate. We'll consider No More Lies, but I really don't think it's a great fit, to be honest. Okay. I don't necessarily think we are a Fading Hope deck. If we cast 1 spell a turn and our opponent casts 1 spell a turn, but then we bounce theirs, we're just down a card. We have no way to recoup that card advantage based on what we have going on right now. So if something said bounce something, draw a card, then that would be fine. So like Repulse, if Repulse existed, then that would be pretty decent. Yeah, I'm saying like innately, given what we have so far. I mean, we could put something in the deck, but that's like a whole other thing. I don't want to put card draw on the deck to recoup like us running Fading Hopes. Should we be looking for more Spree? Possibly. We can certainly just search for Spree and see what's there. Okay. I mean, we might want to run Final Showdown. I think we can just run just like Sorcery Speed Wrath, so, and probably be fine. I guess having one we could play at instant speed might not be terrible. I don't want to craft any more of these probably. Yeah, I don't think the rest of the spree cards really do anything all that well for us, to be honest. Alright. Draw. I don't think I want to be a Union of the Third Path deck. I just think that card is kind of slow if we're being a little bit more proactive. We also want to make sure that the deck is still either A, going to function when we don't have High Noon, or B, be very good at finding High Noon. So it's possible we just want to run effects like Consider. Possibly things like Curate or Deduce as well. Although those might be a little slow. Like 1 mana cantrips would be ideal. It's possible. You thought that would be more. Yeah, well, we're only looking in blue and white. Card draw is good, and this looks like control. I agree, 100%. We will probably end up with some card draw spells in the deck. Can we make use of Power Stone tokens? The answer to that seems to be no so far. Is it possible that we could be a Flow of Knowledge deck? Do we need to be a Flow of Knowledge deck? Like, we could run just all planes that happen to also be islands if we wanted to. It's a thought. It seems like a lot of the card draw spells like don't actually have the word draw in them, which is reasonable. Like the 4 mana spell that I can't think of the name right now that has flashback, Deluge. Oh my goodness. So that's probably a consideration. Yeah, exactly. Surveillance, Triomes, exactly. Yeah, Chuck, thank you. Deluge, we got there. And then there's the new one from the new set that's like the reverse Factor Fiction. Introduce of the on the mind is also a possibility. This would be more interesting if we had stuff that played well out of the graveyard, since obviously that would put more pressure on them to split piles differently. The other pile does not go to the bottom or exile or whatever. It does go to the graveyard, which is interesting. What can we do out of the graveyard? This is like some jazzy kind of stuff. I'm kind of digging it. Alright, not a lot going on in the graveyard. What about flashback? Otherworldly Gaze is interesting. Just because it does help dig for High Noon pretty well. It is card disadvantage though, so I'm hesitant to play it in a deck where we can only run 1 spell a turn. Spending our 1 spell on a card disadvantage spell seems like not the way to go. Not a lot of flashback in blue, surprisingly. I don't know, for the same reason I'm not sure that I want to run Faithful Mending. It just seems like not the direction to go. So, okay, let's just take off all our filters here. Kind of just take a gander. This is often where I kind of get bogged down because I want to make sure. I am interested probably in some board wipes, yeah. So we've already got like a possible Final Showdown in here. Obviously we can run Depopulate and Sunfall. I probably just search Sunfall, but I'm sure I'm gonna want to at least consider Farewell as well, so I figured I would just type in Exile and get them both. Probably also interested in the Wandering Emperor as another thing to cast at instant speed. I guess maybe things with flash are things I would be interested in. Yeah, I was just reading Flanker. Flanker does seem interesting. We got that played against us the other day, and it did some work. Well, their whole deck did work on ours, but this was an interesting card. I've actually never played with the card, but it's pretty versatile. I would not be opposed. It's not going to be great at like Wrath plus this, which you can do in other control decks to like make a large threat if we have High Noon in play, but obviously we won't have High Noon in play every game, and you know, most of our sweepers would exile anyways. It would really just be depopulate plus this for 7 if High Noon wasn't in play. I'm at least considering this. The one thing that I will say is, like, I think as far as win cons go, this is very similar in concept to Stoic Sphinx. Now, granted, this, you know, the life gain in Scry or the exile target player's graveyard might be something that we're interested in sometimes. But as far as a straight win condition, I think Sphinx is just better for this deck. And I'm not sure we would want both. But the graveyard exile is obviously good. The Scry is nothing to scoff at. And the pump ability is actually going to be up so many games after a Sunfall or Ill Times. That's fair. Yeah, if they Sunfall us, then that's one thing. But we won't probably have a lot of creatures in play. But yeah, it's possible if we don't have High Noon in play that we could, like, you know, for 8 mana Sunfall plus Flanker or something. It's possible we want something like a Fairy Mastermind. Just something early to play if we don't need to counter a spell or something like that. I don't think I want Tidebinder in this deck. Lockpicker is awful. For us specifically. Probably just awful in general and standard, but okay. So we kind of also maybe want some single target removal. You know, bounce is okay when it's like top or bottom of library bounce, you know, especially when it's stacked onto the Hornlock Whale, but some actual hard removal here. Like we have Sweepers and Wandering Emperor as possibilities right now, as well as if we do find some way to fit some red mana in the deck, we can High Noon to nug something in some scenarios, but trying to think of the best way to search for that. Target creature, maybe. Like, obviously, some things would say permanent or non-land permanent or whatever, but I think searching target would just be too broad. I don't think we're going to have the planes count for laydown arms, especially if we're trying to run Flow of Knowledge. which I don't know that we are, but Mirrex gets you red unreliable. That is true, but we don't need it reliably. We just need it once, really. I mean, well, I'm not really if we're trying to use it as a win con, but if we're just trying to use it to like nug a creature or something, like with a backup high noon or something. And we probably do want to run some number of Mirrex. I'm hoping that we can also find some way to consistently make red mana, but I haven't really put any brain power into that yet. Nug. You just gotta nug some people sometimes, you know? Just nug them upside the head, bro. For 5. I mean, it's possible that we want like a Cathar Commando just as an answer to artifacts and enchantments that we can leave up. Like, not everything in the deck has to have flash. We can definitely, because the whole point is we want to have the option to play something on our turn and something on their turn. You know what I mean? So we would like to keep the mana cost of the deck down, and we would like to have spells we're interested in playing on our turn and their turn. We're also looking for some sort of like repeatable effect. So after we're both ground down in cards, possibly we have some way to gain advantage. Which, you know, it could be a card draw spell like a Intrude, a Flow, Deluge, something like that. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. We probably just want ossification, I would assume, right? As long as we have the basic land count for it. We're a 2-color deck. We can probably swing enough basic lands to make ossification good. Alright, we're in the 3-mana spells. Not sure how much we're going to find in here. I'm not sure how much we want like a Brutal Cathar effect, since, you know, we're going to give them plenty of time to find an answer to that type of effect. I wonder what's better, Cathar Commando for the flash or the Lauren for the additional versatility and the Vig. You'd rather run Temp Lockdown than Ossification. Maybe. Maybe it depends what we're trying to answer, right? Like, if we're trying to answer their large follow-up threat because we already wrathed away all their small creatures, then we probably just want Ossification. But if we decide we just need a sweeper earlier, then we just run Temp Lockdown. I agree. That's got to be in the conversation, though, 100%. There's probably going to be some number of them in the deck. I agree with you. But I don't know if they fit the same role as Ossification. Lorenzen is amazing with Mirrex. What am I missing with Mirrex? What? What? I don't understand. Wrong card. Okay. I was like, what? I don't call me crazy, but I'm not seeing it. All right, we'll think about one Lauren though. It's either Brutal Cathar or Lauren. I think it's going to be Brutal Cathar, but it's possible it's Lauren. Okay. I don't think we're going to find anything else here that I'm like super interested in. Some other Lauren, maybe. I have no idea. I don't know how many other Laurens there are, but what do I know? This one, maybe? No, I don't think this one works with Mirrex either. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a third Lauren. I didn't even know about this one, so maybe there's a third one. Who knows? So one, it's the one that you draw a card when a cheap creature enters the battlefield. Oh, there's a vampire that does that. It's not a legendary creature though. Welcoming vampire maybe. I'm sure there's probably a legend that does it too, but I can't think of what that would be off the top of my head. Definitely gonna want an Aganjo and an Altawara. We're probably not gonna find any hard removal in blue. It's a white enchantment. Okay. Oh, look, Takasia's welcome. Takasia's something. Takasia, I think. Yeah, Takasia's welcome. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, that's good with Mirix. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, so we've got like a bevy of things to look at here. I am interested in lowering the curve just a little bit. I'm just gonna type in draw one more time and look at blue spells. I think we looked and consider. We didn't look at like, what were the other? Oh, like curate or deduce. I think I'm kind of here for like deduce actually. I knew a card. Woohoo! I wonder if this is an Academy Lore Master deck. Honestly, this might just be an Academy Lore Master deck. We just like don't play things on our turn, and then we just draw extra cards on our turn, and we just counter the things they play on their turn. I don't know. I'm interested in trying this, honestly. Let's consider that. Okay, we've got enough ideas here. I think we can get into some building here. We might think of something that we just didn't find in our hasty little search here along the way, but whatever. Honestly, Aether Channeler is a pretty good fit in this deck, huh? Like, bouncing a creature isn't free. They will eventually, if they run out of things to play, be able to play it. But like, since they don't only play one spell a turn, in some number of games that we play with this deck, isn't a terrible thing. It also replaces itself or makes it 1/1. All right, that's worth considering for sure. How many wraths do we want to run if all our creatures are susceptible to wraths? Like, none of them evade a wrath in any sort of way. I'm not too thrilled with that, to be honest with you. Did I have some other sort of filter on when I searched Flash? I can't believe that those were the only Flash blue and white cards. Seems like the same list of cards that we saw before. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's kind of parse this down a little bit. Oh, Altawara. Oh, we'll get to the mana base in a minute. Okay. So first of all, let's look at just the creatures here. And basically, we're not going to run, obviously, all these creatures. So do we want little utility creatures like Lore Master, like Fairy Mastermind? Like, we probably want Cathar Commander. I think this is kind of a lock as a 1-of in the deck. Do we want an Aether Channeler? Like, honestly, I think Cathar Commander is just better in this deck than Lauren. Like, do we want this Kutzel's Flanker? And then, when we get into, like, the win conditions, like, I think the win condition I'm most likely to want in this deck is Stoic Sphinx. It kills quickly. If we have High Noon in play, it's very hard for them to interact with because we get complete control of when we play it. We wait for them to play a spell, we play this, and then they just never touch it if we're ahead on board, right? We just never give them the opportunity to do anything that targets us if we don't want them to. So I think I'm interested in just going up to 4 of these and just trying that as the primary win condition of the deck. And I'm willing to say I might want a couple of Hornlock Whales and a Hullbreaker Horror just to see how they play. So that puts us at a total of 7 win conditions, and I think that's plenty in a deck like this. It might even be too many. Maybe we just do 1 Hornlock Whale. And honestly, maybe we even start without a Hullbreaker Horror. Maybe we just put that in the sideboard for now. Maybe we start here. Maybe this is like the suite of creatures that I want to try and play. These 6 maybe here. Those are locks, I think, to try. And then these will kind of decide based on what else we do. We obviously want 4 High Noons. I'm going to run 1 Final Showdown. I am not going to run more than 1 because I'm not going to craft any more than that. And we're just going to see how it plays. I'm completely confident that if they play a bunch of stuff to the board and I don't answer it, and then I take a turn off to sweep it, and then they play like 1 follow-up thing, that should be fine, you know, hopefully. So I think as far as counter spells go, I don't know that I actually want to run a Dissipate in my deck. I think I'm going to pass on that. I am going to run 4 3 steps ahead, though. And I am also going to run 4 Consider. I am going to run some number of Syncopate, I believe. But I think I'm going to pass on No More Lies. I just don't think it's where we want to be. This isn't an MH3 early access stream. Stin, you're on to something, my friend. You figured it out. You are indeed correct. We definitely want some number of Wandering Emperors, which can also serve as a win condition if the case may be. I think you guys are right that ossification is probably not what we need. Oh, we did want to find some temporary lockdowns to put in here because that will be important. Alright, we'll start out with 4 of those and we'll see what the meta looks like tonight online and see if we want 4 of those. And then we just kind of want to supplement, right? Like 4 lockdowns. I don't know, maybe 4 is too many. Depends. I don't know how heavy to start on the sweepers. Like something like this is like massively heavy on the sweepers, right? This is like 10 sweepers, 11 with Final Showdown. That's way too many. Maybe we don't even run a Farewell. I'm willing to try just not having a farewell in the deck to get the casting cost of the deck down, and then maybe we just go something like this. That leaves us with 7 total Wraths, including the Showdown, 6 with just the Lockdown to populate Sunfall. Then we have to decide what card draw spell we would like to use. I don't think we're going to be a Flow of Knowledge deck. So it comes down to either Deluge or Intrude the Mind. And the question is, do we want, you know, the Digging Deeper, the 2 separate turns of spells, the just card selection that Memory Deluge provides, or do we want a win condition tacked onto our draw spell sometimes? And I think the decision is clear here that it's a Memory Deluge deck through and through. Okay, so the question is, do we run this No More Lies? I think I'm going to start by putting it in the sideboard as a card that we're considering but is not making the main deck. And then the question becomes, really, how many Deluges do we run? How many Emperors do we run? Do we run Deduce in any number? And do we run Syncopate in any number? This has kind of gotten away from my original vision of the deck. Like, the only counter spells that it's running are 3-step said. That's not doing a good enough job, I think, at high nooning, realistically. I would like to see, because of that, I think I am going to run these Syncopates. I think I'm also going to do something like that to get a couple of more Deluges in. And then I guess, unfortunately, we're going to put the Deduce in the board as well. Something like this as a starting off point. I'm not sure 2 temp lockdowns is worth it. If we're only running 2 temp lockdowns, we're not going to draw them early very often. So at that point, it's like, why wouldn't I just run a better sweeper? Like, we just let them commit to the board. We counter some spells, you know, to make sure we don't die, and then we sweep up. We also could just cut these one-ofs, or at least start with them in the board to get the Deduces in the deck. I actually think I like that more. I think I am going to run Deduce. And I'm going to just put these guys over here as ideas. These are possibilities based on, after we see the deck play a couple times, how we feel about it and what we feel we need or don't need. We might kind of change some things up. But I do like, I think, kind of keeping the mana curve low, keeping our options open, getting a little bit of card draw in the deck. And it's nice because this replaces itself. It counts as our spell that turn, but the card draw of the Investigate does not count as our card for the turn if we need it to on a later turn, which is nice. All right, let's try this as a starting point. Let's work on the mana base. That's not good in our deck. How many Surveillance do we run a run? How many Anchorages do we run a run? I'm going to start on a more Archives than Anchorages. Maybe 6 Taplands is too many. I don't know. This still leaves us with 8 basics. That seems fine. And then do we want to run Mirrex in any number? I think the clear answer to that is yes. We at least want 1. Do we want any other red producing land at all? That I'm not so sure of. I wish there was a Jeskai. Oops, I didn't do colorless in there. I wish there was a Jeskai Triome. That would be ideal. But alas, there is not. Not in standard anyways. Which means there's also not a Jeskai Sackland, which is unfortunate. I hope they complete this cycle at some point. These lands show up just in a lot of random places. And the fact that, you know, 5 of them don't exist is kind of a bummer. I really, really, really hope that they go back and give us the other 5 of these at some point. I think that would be real fun. Maybe run 2 Mirrexes, maybe? I don't know, probably just a Miser's Mirrex, honestly. Tarnation Vista. What does this thing do? When enters battlefield, tapped. Oh, meh. Okay, that's probably it. All right, chat. This is a semi-functional deck. Let's go play it. We're not very original in our name today, but let's just get to playing. Oh yeah, we gotta craft what, a Sphinx? Fine. All right, what do you guys think? How did we do? I'm not too convinced as a first draft that we established or really like followed through on what I was going for, but it might just be that the cards just weren't there. You know, I figured there were more counter spells I'd want to play, but not using conditional counter spells really kind of limited our options. No More Lies and Make Disappear were two obviously cheap counter spells we could play, and it could play out more aggressive than I think with the ability to play a quick 5/3 flyer, in which case they're going to want to try and answer it as soon as possible, and maybe the conditional counter spells are good enough. We queued up the wrong deck. All right, we're going to play one game with Terror Festival because I forgot to switch when I hit play. And then, chat, we will play some Control. Blue-black. Control, probably. We just pass. The deuce on the instep. Nice. We're going to play some of those here in a minute. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Dismal Backwater. Okay. We are not doing shit here. We pass. They draw a card. We're sad. What are the odds our invasion resolves next turn? Some people just don't counter invasion. We saw that at least one game last night. Our opponent, we strongly suspect, had a counterspell the turn we played invasion and just did not counter it. All right. Three 3.33333 repeating percent. All right, it's official. Where I'm come from, we call that 1/3. Just so you know. I'm gonna play another one, and then whether they counter it or not, I'm gonna play a Topiary Stomper. I'm just gonna develop our mana as much as possible. Okay. The way it tapped my mana, I'm going to have to take a pain off this Topiary Stomper. I should have checked that. Not going to lie. It sucks to be at 18 when I don't need to be, but whatever. I'm still going to do it. Alright, so our plan here is just to thin the deck as much as possible, and then hopefully, draw into the goods. Obviously, our opponent has decided to just deal with our action spells here and leave us with all our setup. And that's probably a fair assessment. If you look at my hand, like, we have two cards they have to deal with, the Terror and the Rin. And the invasions are not really doing things right now. Ooh, they are playing a white source. Interessante. I wonder what that's about. Long goodbye on a Stomper. Yeah, Chuck, we did not switch the deck when we queued up, so I didn't want to just scoop. So I'm playing a game with this real quick, and then we'll play the other deck. Whoopsie. All right, I'm gonna play Ren and 7, and then if that resolves, I will play Terror of the Peaks before activating Ren and 7. Does that make sense? No, because then if they do something to the Ren in response, I don't get to activate. I don't think I like that. Let's just play Terror first. See how that goes. I'd rather have Ren in play than Terror, honestly, anyways. If this gets countered. Which I'm assuming if they have a counter spell, they'll pull the trigger here on a counter. But it's possible not if they have like a removal spell. Because they, you know, they're on 21. They can pay 3 life. Yeah, so now do we slam the Ren? I think we do. We finally found something they want to counter. Oh, it was a negate. Maybe they couldn't have countered the Terror. I don't know. Alright, whatever. We're playing a land past the turn, and they'll probably kill the Terror, and we're going to be in a bad spot, but we'll see. They're going to have to take 3 to do it. Do they dare? Do they have the cojones? I was trying to make a Leroy Jenkins reference, but I looked up the video. He actually says 32.3333, repeating, of course. So I guess I'm just a poser and not a true fan. Damn. That hurts, man. That stings just a little bit to call yourself a poser like that. You had it 99% of the way. To be honest, I don't remember the setup to that. I remember they're all outside chatting, and then I know, yep, thumbs up. Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins. That's the only part I remember. And then he goes in, and then they're all just sitting around like, oh shit, he just went in. But I don't remember the setup specifically. I know the raid leader or whatever is talking about the wipes that they had done before or whatever. But fair enough. They're looking through the deck. They pulled out the Rens. No more Rens for us. Okay. Cool. Hopefully we just slam a Storm the Festival here. We do not. But that's not a bad draw. I mean, we can pump this bitch a lot. If they don't have a removal spell here, we slam them for some damage here. We get this up to an 8 power haster. Looks like they have a removal spell, though. I'll waste the mana. They're going to wait for me to waste mana. I will waste mana. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they're just going to remove this at some point. But whatever, maybe they take 8 to the dome. Who knows? Sometimes they ain't got it. Hey, they ain't got it. Now, do we flip an evasion? I think the answer is a clear yes. All right. Dost thou have another negate that you want to use on a awaken? No. Okay. Pass turn. We're probably just going to get swept again, but you know, they're at 13. We're making progress. Now, if they have to sweep again and we top deck a Storm the Festival, maybe there's a shot. So you're saying there's a chance. Path of Peril. So yeah, they got 2 up, and we draw a Topiary Storm, but that's not the best, to be honest. Is it better to just nug them for 4 or nug the invasion twice and then attack them for 4? I mean, I think we just hold the invasions. I'm just going to play Topiary Stomper and pass the turn. That cleaving thing and questing beast kinda should have been. Oh, this thing, the rampaging raptor that kills things if it hits the opponent, kind of like questing beast does. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty cool. A pretty cool ability. I wouldn't mind seeing that one come back as like an actual keyworded thing. Draw ye a card. I like it. I like it. In an ideal world, we draw Storm the Festival. Otherwise, maybe we draw a dragon. Ridgeline's not terrible, I guess. If we draw a dragon, one of the invasions pops the Tarkir, and then we get to attack for 4 off Tarkir and dome them for 3, and then play the dragon. So I think I'm just attacking them with the Stomper, and then playing the Ridgeline tapped, and passing the turn. But we are getting to the point where the Tarkirs might go face. Sheldred's Edict. Bummer. That might have been a reason to play the Ridgeline pre-combat, honestly, so I could have just activated that and sacked it, but you live and learn. The more you know. Next turn, though, we can pop the Invasion of Tarkir, fire up the Ridgeline, and attack for 9. It works a lot better if we draw a dragon, obviously, so we don't have to use both Invasion of Tarkirs to flip the Invasion of Zendikar, but we will do what is necessary. Oh, actually, they have Field of Ruins in play, so that's never working. The keyword is Nug. Raptor has Nug X, where I love that. Every bit of that is something that I'm in love with right now. We did draw a Terror of the Peak, so we are going to Invasion our Invasion. And then we are, the timing's weird because we want to kind of get the Nug for 4 off the Invasion flipping, but we also need the Terror in play to make the Invasion flip. I think we're going to do it this way. All right. I just realized, oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we're going to get to attack for 4, not 9, unfortunately, because they are probably going to kill this before I get to attacks, but they might fuck that up. And we still have enough to post-combat play the Terror of the Peaks if we decide to do so. I don't know that we want to play it into another possible Wrath, though. If the Awakened Skyclave is still alive, we probably just have to just keep it in play and pass the turn, is what I'm thinking. Yep. I mean, we can put lethal on the board. I think we got to play the Terror and put lethal on the board, don't you? Well, not if they kill the Skyclave. Actually, now if they kill the Skyclave, I just want to put a threat in play. So yeah, I will play a Terror here and pass turn. And go from there. Alright, Storm the Festival at any time would be great. I could have nugged him for 3 first, but I don't think that's right. Beseiju, not exactly it. The question, I think I attacked the Invasion just because that's still 4 to the face instead of 5, and then next turn it's like lethal. Now, if they're setting up a sweeper, then we kind of just fucked ourselves, but you know what? It is what it is. We still get to nug them for 4 this turn, so it's really 1 less damage, and they get to sweep up our battle in addition to our Terror, but if they don't have a sweeper here, we have lethal on the board again without having to do anything else. So I think that's got to be worth it. This is a long game with this deck. I really thought this game was going to be fast, and then we would just get to the blue-eye control deck. Didn't realize that this was going to be such a slow game. Pretzel Rocks has crashed. Pretzel Rocks, please. Please, Pretzel Rocks, do something. All right, we switched to Melodic Bass. All right, they scooped it up. We got there in the end, chat. Don't you worry. Don't you freaking worry, man. All right, we've been climbing with the, I mean, not climbing fast, but we were at Plat 4 when we started with the Storm deck 3 days ago, and Now we're middle of plat 3, so, you know, for a deck that's not quote-unquote good, I think that's pretty decent. All right, let's remember to switch decks this time. Let's lose all that ranking we just we just gained with our Terror Festival deck. Yo, Owly with the raid. Thank you very much, my friend. Welcome on in, everybody. My name is Otto. And we are playing some Magic the Gathering. And we just built a new deck built around High Noon. And it's blue-eye control. I'm not convinced that it's any good. We kind of went down a rabbit hole, and I'm not convinced we came out the other side. But this is our first game with it, so let's see how it goes. Welcome on in, everybody. Owly, how was the stream? You were playing some Magic as well, it looks like. What were you doing tonight, my friend? Thank you very much for the raid. Huge shout-out to Owly. Please, everybody that's here, go give Owly a look the next time you get a chance. That would be greatly appreciated. Turn 2, the consider draw is just peak performance. Alright, just Seachrome Coast Pass. This is what we do. Topiary Stomper. Yeah, alright. Unfortunately, we cannot counter that one yet. And I don't really want to put it on the top or bottom, so I'm just going to consider here. That one we don't need. Okay, I guess we needed it after all. So there. Another Topiary Stomper. I think we will put an end to that one. I don't want them getting too far ahead in the mana department. Yo, just played against this a few games ago. Really? You've been playing Mono Red. How did you get that cosmetic? Oh, it was on sale in the shop one day. I'm not sure exactly how long ago. It was within the past year, though. So just keep checking the shop. It will. I think this is not the first time it's been here. I hope it will come back for people who didn't get it, because this is just it's glorious. I would play with no other sleeves if you wanted to pay me money. I think these are how I played Magic back in the day. So yeah, these sleeves are amazing. Is a Pillsbury Dinger some kind of toaster pastry I've never heard of? I don't know. I'm afraid to look that one up. I'm afraid that might put me on some kind of list, my friend. You're going to have to figure that one out on your own. I've only been playing MTG for like a month. I love that one. Okay, right on. Yeah, this is, you know, when I first started playing Magic, sleeves weren't even a thing yet. And we just all played and shuffled up, and that's how we played Magic. So this is very nostalgic for me. I'm just going to draw 2 and discard a card, I think. Might be an anniversary thing, but hopefully it comes back next year. Yeah, I think maybe that sounds right, Stin. It might have been an anniversary thing. So, yeah. Hopefully, next year it will come back if that is the case, because it is nice. Okay, that was a pretty good draw. Our 6th land is locked up for either Hornlock Whale or Final Showdown. And, yeah, we also get a little attacker ready to go. They're going to play their 7th land. They're going to start hitting us about the face with this Stomper. I bought the CD-ROM structure deck back in, like, 96, 97. Oh, nice, but never played after that. Love the Worn look. Hell, yeah. That's really cool that you like bought that so long ago and then just have not played, and now you're here. You've been playing for like a month. That's awesome. What were you streaming prior to that? If so, what were you streaming before you decided to pick up Magic? All right, let's take. It's either Archive the Deuce. Like, I'm not interested in Commando, so that's definitely not it. So, I think I just want to hit land drops. I'm going to take the Archive and the Deduce. I don't think we need another Memory Deluge right now. Alright, we pass with either Hornlock Whale or Final Showdown up. See how that goes. I was streaming a lot of Dead by Daylight and Darker and Darker. Got you. Since I started playing Commander, it's only been Magic. Hell yeah. Might Stone and Weak Stone. That's not a card I really expected out of them, to be honest. I think I am going to syncopate that. I'm not really interested in them having that. I just don't want them drawing 2 cards. And it probably means there's some sort of Bant deck that may run Urza. I don't know. Maybe they're just running big stuff like Portal since they're ramping. Yeah, I'm not interested in them having that, I don't think, though. Let's syncopate X equals 3. And then we can also deduce this turn as well. Temp lockdown. Not exactly the droids we're looking for here. So do we want the 7th untapped land for possible archive, or do we want to get, or possible deluge, or do we want to archive? I think we just want to get the 7th untapped land right here. We are kind of dying to this Topiary Stomper, so we do have to keep that in mind. This deck looks fun. This deck is, like I said, first game, so I don't know how fun it is, but it's you know, it's blue light control. You either like playing it or you don't like playing it. I mean, it's really where we're at. And I can't play it all the time. I play a wide variety of decks, and every once in a while I get an itching to play this style of deck. I will let this hit us one more time. I'm just going to flash in a 6/6. Unfortunately, when you play it on their turn, it enters tapped. So I can't, like, eat the Topiary Stomper this turn. I'm really tempted to just deluge, honestly. I'm going to flash in a Hornlock Whale. We have this in the deck to try and draw it. Let's just play it. We draw another deluge. Okay. I'm going to archive now. 3 steps ahead is a good one. Let's keep that. That means that we can draw a card off the clue and then 3 steps ahead if they play something to fuck with our Hornlock Whale in any way. So I'm feeling pretty safe sitting behind this Hornlock Whale. We're just going to chill. And then maybe we end of turn flashback this Memory Deluge. Okay, so we're not Memory Deluging this turn because we are going to want to counter that. Which means we can't make a copy of our Hornlock Whale, unfortunately. We can also draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards, though, so that's good. What are we going to discard here? Probably just a land, honestly. We have enough, and I think even though the temporary lockdown's not great right now, it could be. They seem like they have more small things they could play at some point. Okay. Yeah, we just play a land past turn. I think there's one in archive and I consider, honestly. I'm also just going to cast this consider. And I will keep a deduce. I will keep that. We do have some other win cons in this deck, but I don't know where they are right now. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yo, Squealer's here. What's up, Squealy? How you doing, my friend? Let's crack a clue as well. Fuck. Too many of those fucking emotes. Emotes? Why did I say it like that? That was weird. Alright, so we have a Wandering Emperor. We could just play that now, so we don't have to discard. I'm kind of into that. Like, there's no reason to discard one of these cards. They all have their uses, and this is fine.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and guards to me.
I just want to spam emotes. This is America. You're right. It is America. However, ooh, Elish Norn. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to 3 steps ahead of that. The question is, do I do other stuff or do I leave up Syncopate? I think I'm just going to leave up Syncopate. I don't need to draw cards or create tokens. Let's just counter a spell. So we only have Syncopate for 2, but they only have 4 mana up, so they can't do anything too bad. Yeah, this is fine. Has Lockdown been good this run? So honestly, this is the first deck or first game I've played with this deck. Oh, no. This is not cube. This is standard. No, we are. Yeah. We're playing standard. I do not cube. I don't know. It's a lot for me to cube. I used to cube in person, but then I quit playing Magic for like over a decade, and then when I came back to it, there's just way too many cards. I can't keep up with them all. I like my little standard environment, you know, where I only have to keep track of so many things at one time, to be completely honest. So that's where we're at. Let's just pass. Gonna grab food and lurk. All right, Ali. Once again, thank you for the raid. Everybody go check out Ali. I appreciate you. Or Ali, excuse me. I appreciate you. Yeah, this is fine. You can have that. 100% of the time. It works every time. Play yourself an additional land, my friend. Get at it. Titan of Industry. Well, that's one we can't counter right now, so let's Deluge. Well, there's all our friggin' Stoic Sphinxes. A lot of good they're doing us now. I'm probably just gonna fucking keep Stoic Sphinx in High Noon, and then we'll just untap in Wrath. Or Final Showdown. Wait, hold on. Let me... Because if they put... Yeah, these are both destroy effects, unfortunately. So if they put a shield counter on the Titan, we actually don't have a way to deal with that right now. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm going to take High Noon and Sphinx. Let's see what they do with this Titan. Yep. Alright, where's the shield counter going? That's the real question. If they put it on the Titan, it's kind of a problem, because I don't want to Atawara the Titan. To be fair. So we'll have to see if we can find some other way to deal with that. So I'm not flashing in the Sphinx, obviously. Does that work? Does losing Indestructible matter if they have an Indestructible counter? Or does like that counter just reapply it even after the effect resolves? You know what? For science, we're going to try it next turn. No better way to find out than just to fucking cast it, right? Oh, no, it says lose all abilities. That should include the counter, right? So, no, that's still weird. I don't know how that works with an Indestructible counter. Or a shield counter. Because if it's a shield counter, it's not an ability on the card, it's an ability on the counter, right? I actually don't think Final Showdown destroys this Titan. That's crazy to me. Okay. I'm going to do both, I guess. I'm just going to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. Auto tap, make sure I have double blue, or excuse me, double white up after I do. Choose a creature I control. Yep. Depop.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Alright. Play a land pass turn. Well, there we go. It didn't work. We tried it for science. The counter has the ability. Portal has been played. Yep. We thought maybe that was an option when they saw that they had, when we saw they had the fucking, where is it? The Might Zone, Weak Zone. So we need a way to close this game out pretty quick. I think we're going to be okay, but we don't have an answer right now to the portal. I don't think High Noon actually does a lot right now. If we find our one of Mirix, it would be nice. I think I'm going to go ahead and crack this clue. No, portal puts into play. Target creature onto the battlefield. So we really are being punished for not having red sources. We could just nug them for 15 at some point. I think we play a High Noon past the turn. Do I want to play anything else before I play High Noon? Now would be the time, right? I don't think so. I think I'm playing High Noon past the turn. The first thing they get back is going to be Titan, which is going to be difficult. You know what I should have done? I'm just thinking about this. They probably would have attacked. Like, I didn't take advantage of the fact that Final Showdown was an instant. They probably would have attacked. I could have blocked with Hornlock Whale. And then in response, Final Showdown. My Hornlock Whale would have gained Indestructible. The Wrath would have gotten rid of the shield counter. And then the Hornlock Whale would have eaten it. Because I still would have put the +1/+1 counter on it on my turn, obviously. So it would have been a 7/7. Oh, they got Elish Norn back. Interesting. Okay. And then they play Topiary Storm. So that is their one spell for the turn. So I am going to play Stoic Sphinx at some point. This resolves. They get a land. That's fine. I'm going to bounce their Elish Norn and then have a Stoic Sphinx in play. And I think we're probably just going to win this race. Probably should have done that in response so they didn't get 2 lands, but whatever. I think what I should do here is actually... We know their 1 card in hand doesn't interact with the Sphinx. I'm going to Memory Deluge main phase so that I can cast a reactive spell on their turn. And then I'm just going to trade in the Wandering Emperor. Actually, if I plus Wandering Emperor, this goes up to 6. We get a 13. The Titan's going to fuck the math here, I think is the problem. Let's Memory Deluge main phase. I think we're going to lose this game somehow. I think we have to take the Sunfall. We could take another Sphinx and try and get them. I'm definitely taking the Sunfall. I think I will take another Sphinx over the Mirix. Alright. I think I have to attack and make it 2/2. Because we are also at 8. Okay, so after they get the Titan back, all they have to get back is a couple of Topiary Stompers. What do we have? We have the Hornlock Whale. That's going to be a kind of a problem. All right. This is not going to be fun. That one turn, I didn't think about the interaction. I should have been patient. That's the whole reason why we run the instant speed Wrath. And I just let them fucking have an opportunity to cast a portal for Exia. And we even thought they might have it based on the Might Stone Weak Stone. So at least they didn't get a double trigger off the Titan with the Elvish Norn because it wasn't in play. I am going to let this resolve. Let's see what they do here. So what'd they do? They made a 4/4 and what? They gained 5 life? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So let's not play another Stoic Sphinx because we plan on Sun Falling. So let's consider. I don't want the 4th High Noon. That is not a card we are interested in right now. Syncopate is fine. Yeah, that's my turn. We attack and then we Sunfall. So we don't even attack because then we just get less creatures. So let's Sunfall. Pass turn. So they get back probably our Hornlock Whale. Yep. Okay. So if we could ever bounce that, it goes back to our hand, but can't think of how we're doing that at the moment. Definitely want that Cathar Commander to get rid of the portal. And then I think we just... How many cards do we even have left in our deck? 13. We cannot take the Memory Deluge. I think it's just the Sphinx. We have to try and win the game with these 2 Sphinxes. That seems like a decent thing for us to do. Use a bounce spell. That's a smart play, Squealer. I wish I'd have thought of that. That's why you're so damn good at this game, I think. Alright, let's attack with an 8/8 and see what happens. Can we afford to attack with the 8/8? We have to win the game at some point. So I think what we do is flash in... No. The problem is if we let them go to their turn, they get another trigger. I was going to flash in the commander to block and then destroy. But we can't really do that. I think I'm just going to have to go to 2. We can block with it. Never mind. We can block with an anchorage. That's fine. Let's attack. If you get them to 0 life, you win. What? Oh my god. That's so crazy, bruh. Didn't know that. Alright, get that fucking thing out of here. And play it. I don't even know that I want to play a Gonzo. Let's just go to end and discard a High Noon, because who needs a fucking High Noon, right? Who needs that shit in their life? Ossification. That's just game, right? We just syncopate that. How much land do they have? Maybe we can't even syncopate it. Hang on. What are they going to ossify? The 8/8? Do I even care about this? No, I don't really care about this. That resolves. That's fine. So I flash in a Sphinx. That's 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's not lethal next turn. So I can block and then a Gonjo. Do I have enough to do that? Let's find out. So it's 3 for a Gonjo and then 2. Yeah, so this is fine. I want to put a stop after damage to make sure this happens. I think it should because they're empty-handed, but just to make sure. So this means we don't get a Sphinx into play this turn, but we can deduce. Oh, no, we can't. We only have 1 mana. Okay. Yeehaw. Yeehaw is right, motherfucker. Let's go. Alright, pass turn. We attack for 2. Let's chip in. Did we play a Sphinx on our turn, play a Sphinx on their turn? I think the answer is no, because our only hard counter, or our only counter is a soft counter. Land. Okay. Now they're dead to both fucking archives. Not where's the other anchorage? Oh, I blocked with the other anchorage. Okay, well, we were only going to put them to 2, but whatever. They were done. Well, that game only took about 45 minutes, chat. I mean, we probably have time for like one more whole game. This deck is not fast. I will give it that. But the deck, it did its thing. It did its thing. It kind of ground along. I fucked up and almost paid the price. But you know what? We got there in the end. I'm going to say it. I misplayed it, but I did like the final showdown in the deck. Do I want more than one? I don't know. But it was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. It was better if we had played it correctly, but felt pretty good in there. The temp lockdowns, you know, is control ever fast? No, absolutely not. 4 at least. It's at least a 4-up. I mean, you know, if you draft more than 4, then you get to play more than 4, right? That's the way Cube works online, right? Why only have one of each card when, you know, you could just... they're all digital. Honestly, that would be a pretty fun way to draft the cube. But, like, fuck it. You're not, you know, limited to only one of each card. Every card's random. It has just as much chance as being the same card twice in a pack or whatever. You could open 15 Black Lotuses. Fuck it. I think that would be a pretty fun way to draft a cube. Probably all kinds of busted as hell and very, very swingy. But, hey, you know what? Isn't that what cube is all about, damn it? All right, let's do one more. Maybe it won't go quite that long. Maybe. A cube like that would be nuts. Donkey balls. What? You think it would be donkey balls? Nah, it would be great. Peak cube content. Okay, do we lean on this archive to get us to land 3? And I think the answer is yes. It would be nice if we had an untapped land to immediately deduce on 2 and then play beach on 3. But, you know, we'll see what we do. We'll see what we do. Bollocks! Alright, let's put a Sphinx in the yard. Definitely don't want that one right now. They casually glance over at Sphinx. Yeah, fair enough. Ooh, a little Skrelvy poo. We did not hit a land. That is not good for our win percentage. Well, maybe we have time for another game. I am only running 24 lands. That's just like, you know, my starting point for most things. But this deck probably should have started at like 25 or 26 as a control deck. But then again, 24 with consider and deduce is probably about right, honestly. You know, they tend to count as like some percentage of a land. I just have to counter that, I think. We'll syncopate for... No, I'd rather keep syncopate for possibly a double spell turn. I'm just gonna 3 steps ahead. Not gonna fuck about. Could test 20. I mean, we could. We could in theory. Wait, what? Why does this say, are you sure? What? Does this have, like... This doesn't have any sort of something, does it? Oh, they cavern sold that motherfucker. Son of a bitch. I didn't see the cavern. Yeah, good thing it asked me. Alright, well, I guess it resolves then, doesn't it? Yeah, fair enough. God damn. Mr. Auto, sir, can we raid Damien 16 when you get off if they're still on? Or Scuffle? I would probably raid Scuffle just because I'm more familiar with them. But if Scuffle's off and Damien's still on, we can certainly do that, my friend. Oh, is that the Damien that we speak of sometimes? Yeah, that's fair. Maybe I should find out who Damien is. You're not wrong, okay? You're not wrong. Hitting a land there would have been worth it. I think I'll just have to crack a clue looking for a land. If we hit an untapped land, we can still syncopate for 1. So there is that. And instead, we do not. Alright, good talk, good talk. I will discard a Deluge. And probably just lose in quick fashion here. Knight has been played on the second cavern. It's an interesting little flex there, whatever knights they have in the deck. Okay, and then they play a Vanguard. Alright, I mean, we are not winning this game. I don't think there is a singular card I can draw. Well, they're giving us time. I don't believe that was better than just attacking for like 7 that turn. And they got 1 creature off that. If we would draw fucking lands, we could be in this game for sure. Let's deduce. That is a land. Play the land. Try to draw our 5th land with the clue next turn. And then hopefully... are we just dead next turn? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? No, we're not dead even if they attack with like the Skrelv and shit. So we draw to the 5th land and hope that they have no other play after Sunfall hits them. So just dump your hand this turn, opponent. I know you got 5 cards in hand, but just, yeah, play a Warden of the Inner Sky. Absolutely, it's not counterable. So what can I possibly do? Everybody in except for Skrelv. Yeah. Did I miscount? Are we dead? That's 12. No, we go to 3. Yeah. Okay. I mean, chances are they got 4 cards in hand. Chances are we're still very dead here, but what are you going to do? I just couldn't counter any of their spells, chat. Cavern of Souls is a busted magic card. We should probably be running some number of Field of Ruins just for that. A tap land? Are you telling me it's going to come down to a tap land? You son of a bitch. How dare you give me an archive there, game. I detest thee. Alright, we'll play one more because that was some bullshit. Now I'm just saying. And we bring it on ourselves. We are playing 6 tap lands. I freely admit that is partially a me problem, but I didn't appreciate it. This will be the last game, though, and if Damien F16 is still on, we will go find them and give them some love. Otherwise, we will go see Scuffle. Okay. Do we want to go Coast into Consider? I think the answer is yes. So let's lead on that. Or at least that's the game plan up until we see what our opponent is doing. Okay. Opponent on some blue-black stuff. I think against blue-black control, I just kind of wanted to deuce. I think that's fine. If this were Think Twice, though, we just put it in the graveyard with Consider, get that sweet, sweet value. God, man. Think Twice, what a fucking magic card, you know? Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree that Think Twice is just peak magic? I'm not sure I want to 3 steps ahead. I'm not actually sure what I'm looking for here yet, though. So I'm very tempted just to keep it on top. We already have card draw kind of locked up, so I guess the thing I want is just to make sure nothing too bad happens to us, you know, in the somewhat short term. The Syncopate will eventually be less than useful. Having a hard counter, I think, is probably just pretty good here. Jace. Yeah, we'll just Syncopate a Jace for sure. You know, the Syncopates have been for like, yo, Frosted Bake. Best views. Oh, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here with your bot ass. Now I gotta go through all the trouble to fucking ban you and shit. I don't see bots very much anymore. Like, it used to be that they came in like pretty often. But they haven't don't come by near as often. Hopefully that means Twitch is doing something right. But all right, so we got the whole Sphinx situation. We don't have High Noon yet, but the question is, do we flash it into play now where they're tapped out? I think the answer is yes. That way they have to wrath it. Yeah, let's just get it in there. This gives them the opportunity to fire something off, but I think that's okay. I can't think of what they would do better on turn, with 5 mana than a 5/3 hexproof flyer. If they can prove me wrong, then so be it. I guess they could have Sheldred's Edict. Black is... Oh, okay, they wrath it for 5. I'm totally fine with that, 100%. 100% of the time. All right, we just slow it down. We need mana, actually. Let's deduce. Let's deduce. I want lands, please. That's not a land. Okay. I can't afford to consider, I think, here. I have to hold up that we have something else to do. So we're going to pass. I hate missing a land drop there. 24 lands is kind of not working right now. Opponent also not punishing us, though, which is nice. They also have a reactive hand, probably. We get to draw a card off this clue. Maybe they're reconsidering now that they kind of think about the situation. They decide not to do anything different, though. Hopefully this gives us a chance to draw some lands, kind of get out of this. No lands yet. Okay. Let's consider, because it's cheaper. And even if we miss, we can still leave up 3 steps ahead. Another deduce is just now not mana efficient enough for us. We need to draw the lands now. Damn. Let's do it again. They're going to counter this one, I feel like. No? Okay. Land, please? No land. Wow. We are doing it, chat. We are doing it. That's great. All right. Definitely tomorrow we will be adding a couple of lands to this thing. And seeing how that does. But yeah, right now it's not feeling great. Missing these land drops two games in a row. Well, it's something we can flash in. We really have no more ways to dig for land, so I guess I'm going to flash in a threat. What am I discarding? I'm probably discarding Syncopate. It's not... Yeah, Syncopate is the discard here. Did I not sack the clue end of turn? Is that a thing? I had 2 mana up, did I not? That's silly, if that's the case. I think I might have just not cracked the clue. As one does when you're mana screwed. Just don't utilize your mana. Yeah, I know. Alright, what would I guess I would rather... I think I'd rather have this get countered, honestly, and make them spin a Wrath on the Sphinx again. They only have an X number of Wraths. I guess the next Wrath they have, though, if it's another Devious cover-up, they can collect evidence and get rid of all the Sphinxes, but don't know what else to do with our current mana situation. I could start Memory Deluging. Maybe that was the play. Ooh, wow. Okay. Fair enough. That's a hell of a card that you got there. They now have 6 of my spells. I don't like that at all. And we're still missing land drops. Like, they're going to have Wraths. I have Wraths in my deck. I can't just jam the Stoic Sphinx and hope Hexproof is enough. I am still kind of interested in looking for lands. You know what? Whatever. Let's just jam the Sphinx and attack. We just got to get aggressive and hope they ain't got it. So we have to dodge Sweepers and Sheldred's Edict. I don't know what else they run in their deck, to be honest with you. So chances are they've got one of those things. And if they don't, then probably I do. But maybe not. Yeah, there goes another cover up. All right, we've lost this one. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up, not to waste time. And we'll go ahead and raid Damien. GG, opponent. GG. Must feel nice to have 5, 6, 8, 9 lands in play. I do not have 9 lands, and I'm taking my ball and going home, and you can't stop me. So there. All right. So the deck broke even tonight, chat. Actually, no, I think it was even 1 and 2. We only played 3 games with it, didn't we? But the games we lost were due to mana issues. I think tomorrow we'll make a couple cuts and put a couple more lands in the deck, and I think it's going to perform just fine. We got the high noon thing going the first game, but it didn't really do what we wanted it to. I know only 3. Well, technically 4, but one of them we played with the Terror Festival deck because we forgot to switch. And remember, we had to build the deck too. We built the deck for like the first hour. So yeah, not too bad. But the games were slow. The games were definitely slow. But anyways, guys, thanks for showing up tonight. Big shout out to Owly as well for the raid. And let's go return the favor and raid Damien. So I'm going to put the ending screen up as always. I'm going to go ahead and mute that background music and go find Damien on Twitch. So if you want to come back here tomorrow and see us do it all over again, be sure to hit that follow button. Be sure to go over there on YouTube and follow over there too. Chuck Nasty gets lonely over there being the only one watching on YouTube. So go on over there and give us a follow over there as well. And otherwise, just hang tight and prepare for the raid.